The internet. It's able to connect people in ways once thought of as science fiction. In moments, I can get breaking news on my phone, check text, tweets, and email, and even chat with celebrities with an @ sign. Today, we bridge the divide with Kyla Williams from Smart Chicago. Kyla, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Appreciate you coming in. You know, Kyla, let's first start with a definition of Smart Chicago. What is Smart Chicago?
We are a civic tech organization that is comprised of some brilliant people who are dedicated to improving the lives of Chicagoans using technology.
So, what do you do at Smart Chicago?
I am currently the interim executive director. Previous to that, I was the director of operations.
Now, when we look at Smart Chicago and access and bridging the digital divide, what seems to be the impetus? You mentioned 3 views. What seems to be the impetus of Smart Chicago?
So we organize our work under 3 focus areas. Access, meaning that we want people to be able to use the internet regardless of their ability to pay. Skills, we want people to get on the internet and be able to build skills that's going to help to improve their quality of life. And then data. If you're like me and you look at a spreadsheet that has too many columns or rows, you start to cry. So we like to take data, visualize it in such a way that people can utilize it to help to make better informed decisions.
Kyla, we are deep into the 21st century now, and you're saying that, I'm going to look at Tenet 1, you're saying that there are some people in pockets in certain communities that still don't have access to internet?
Absolutely. In Chicago specifically, we did a research study where we polled to determine where folks had internet access. Most of them in the city of Chicago did not have them in their homes based on where they lived, specific geography, the west side and the south side. There are actually still some dead zones on either side, south side and west side, where there's not any type of, whether there's a mobile signal or there's cable that's running, there's like actual dead zones where if you're standing on particular street corners, you can't get any type of internet access.
You're kidding.
I am not kidding.
So who would allow a dead zone to even occur?
Well,
because I'm sure there are some communities that don't have any dead zones.
Oh, certainly. If you go up north and into some of the more affluent communities, they have internet access and Wi-Fi access points all over their community. But there are certainly some champions that are like in Inglewood and Woodlawn who have been fighting for years and years and years, trying to bring resources to those communities so that they can light those communities up. That's what we say in the tech world. We want to light them up.
Skills gap.
Skills.
Don't have access, but now you're also saying that there's a gap when it comes to skills. What kind of gap?
Certainly the largest gap. So even if we talk about young people, so we say young people are totally computer literate, so we think. But being able to upload a photo to Facebook or do Snapchat, unless that is your job, who is going to pay you for that? That is not considered digital literacy. Can you take that same photo, rename it, upload it into a cloud, repurpose it into a document that is utilized for your particular company? We're missing the steps that follow being able to just upload a photo.
So uploading a photo really isn't a skill set. That's just
unless uploading photos is going to be your job. And I don't know many places where that is the only skill set that they're looking for.
Yeah. Third thing, data.
Yes.
So we've got access divide, we've got a skill set divide. Let's talk about data and Smart Chicago. What's the impetus of that?
So we noticed that there were decisions that were being made based off of perception and gut. You get some data points, but a lot of those data points are outdated. And someone's telling you what the data points are. There's like 2 or 3 people removed. So we wanted to be able to take raw data that is available from reputable sources, visualize it in such a way that common people who did not have the PhD, who were not familiar with strategical analysis or any of the higher academia things that people use data for, but like regular people like you and me, so that you can see where you are, where your community stands in reference to a lot of data points, and then we try to layer them to tell a story.
So if a community is lacking in data points, you mentioned confidence intervals. What is that before I ask the next question?
So confidence intervals determines like the confidence of the data, like from when it was entered in, how it was actually manipulated in the statistical analysis. It determines whether or not you can have good confidence in that particular data set based on how it was, accessed and how it was, anonymized or visualized. And so we don't even want to, talk to the community about confidence data necessarily. What we want them to be able to do is to have access to the data and then be able to use that data for whatever decision making that they want to be able to do. That's the reason why we want to take the legwork out of determining whether or not it's good data or bad data.
Is internet access really that important, though, Kyla? Okay, so see, I know I'm probably a thorn in your side here, but when we look at ABCD access, when we look at asset-based community development, is a community really missing out on that much if they don't have internet access? There's some people that just say, I don't need that.
Well, the internet is the living, breathing encyclopedia. I call it the social curation point at this level.
Yes.
We are not only using the internet for education, for business transactions, connecting with loved ones, monitoring our health. The internet is an extension of human spirit at this point. So if you are not utilizing the internet, and some people classify, or I would say inaccurately classify the internet just as social media.
Yes.
It's not just about social media. It is so many other platforms that are available that help us to do the things that we do and can do it more efficiently. And if you are not engaging in that, then you are missing out on an opportunity to improve your quality of life.
Quality of life,
Yes.
QOL, always a big thing mentioned. And Smart Chicago is trying to eradicate a deficit in people's quality of life. And we really appreciate the work that you do.
Thank you.
Kyla Williams, thanks for being on CounterPoint. We appreciate you. Smart Chicago, you have a wonderful day, and keep letting people know in your community and communities throughout Chicagoland that internet access is so important.
Indeed.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Tweet me, post on Instagram, or send me a message on Facebook. Let's start the conversation. Your voice is important on CounterPoint.